all about this and SARS movement. It's really what it's about right now for me.
This is What the Pod, the perfect vibes for that nice Sunday drive back to your city. You done had a good weekend, told the rental car company you wasn't going out of state, but that's okay. Here's what the pod has to say. Hello, it's your boy King Shiji here with another episode of What the Pod. And we got a very special guest in the building today. We got my boy Mac. Mac, say what's up to the people.
Yo, everyone. My name is Mark. Just here on the pod.
Yeah, I'm fine. I was good. How's life? How was your day?
Man, Gucci, man. All about this and SARS movement. It's really what it's about right now.
Fully, fully. I hear that, man. And that is what this episode is going to be about. Just for the people that are not too familiar, or even if you just wanted to hear some stuff, or just have one place to just kind of hear a little bit of information of what's going on. That's really what this episode is going to focus on for you guys. So we're going to tell you kind of what is going on, and you know what? Let's just get into it, right? So I'm a read y'all a little excerpt of just some key information on what's going on, and we're going to take it from there. All right. So just for your information, before we get into that, there's a movement going on right now, right, to end SARS, and SARS stands for the Special Anti. I can't even speak. I cannot speak English.
Okay.
SARS stands for the Special Anti-Robbery Squad in Nigeria. So the SARS is a unit of the police force in Nigeria. Over the years, there have been public records of SARS units committing acts of corruption and malpractice around the country. Despite this, the government has failed to take action. SARS units across the country have unlawfully arrested and detained young people, kidnapping, murdering a police squad, stealing and extorting money from them and their families. That is, from the youths of Nigeria and their families. Many people have shared their stories of police brutality on social media and through other mediums. And on Wednesday, the 7th of October 2020, young people in Lagos took to the streets and began protesting the end of the SARS units, the end of injustice, and the end of death at the hands of the Nigerian police force. Nigerian youths across the country and across the world, from cities such as Abuja, Ibadan, Benin, Warri, to here in Houston, the UK, Toronto, and everywhere across the world, have taken to the streets to demand change and for the total disbandment of the SARS police unit. So that's just a little bit of information for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about our experiences being out there, and after, we're going to tell you a little bit about how you can get involved even if you're not able to, go out and protest per se. So Mac, I'm gonna start off with you. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in Nigeria. I know you've been out there on the front lines. I'm gonna let you tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So the movement pretty much started today. My time right now it's like Sunday the 18th. But this must have started like over 10 days ago. It's like 2 weeks ago. The major protest that really like kicked it off was after like the whole news of the deaths and everything, and people got mad outraged.
What death?
Like,
was there a death in particular, or just for the view?
Yeah, it was really the whole mess of everything, and then the death of Jimo Isiak really just like really enraged a lot of people. Really sparked a bigger conversation on the whole thing.
And they also mentioned there was a man that was just driving and he was shot by the units, and they drove up with his car.
Yeah,
that's what
it's such a common theme, right? And like this is really just the Nigerian people saying, we're tired, man. We're tired. It's so crazy how you have a group of people that are, they actually swear to protect you, and but you never actually feel safe around them. Nobody even wants to interact with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like going back to the first major protest, it was like in Alausa, and like people just were just right there at the Lagos State House, trying to get the governor's attention. He needs to speak up, like all this stuff is happening in Lagos State, it's happening everywhere, literally. But like, these guys were like, we're not going anywhere, the Lagos State governor needs to address this, we can't keep dropping like flies, and no one is held accountable. And those guys are really there, man. Big up everyone that was there that day. They were there like fully on, I think it went on for like 2-3 days, continuous. And then then everyone pretty much started picking it back up. The first one I went for, I think that was the first one on like on the island. That was on the Lekki Hoi Bridge. Yeah, and honestly the turnout was great. Everything was so good, the organization. Big up everybody who spearheaded any of the protests, and like all the organization, getting everything together, and the whole thing. But yeah, after
that's where they don't get excited when they say spearheaded and organized. No means say we get leader, no leader.
Yeah,
there's no leader. So everybody. So if you are looking forward to bribe all the whole, how many is it? 200 million youths who bribe everybody. There is no leader. Yeah. You speak to everybody and you answer the demands of everyone. But sorry to cut you off, bro.
And that's
real quick. I'm just gonna say that I don't support bribery. So no, do what we're asking. It's
word. And like that in itself is really such an important point, because like at the end of the day, we're all saying the same thing. We're all demanding the same thing. It's not so hard to read. It's not so hard to hear. So there's really no need for leaders, because historically, if you deep it, a lot of times when Nigerian, when we come together and then we are protesting for whatever cause, and then they end up getting a leader. The leader somehow ends up getting roped into some political web, and then the whole thing just falls apart. So it's really important that people speak together as one, but at the same time, we're all saying the same thing. There's no need for a leader at the end of the day. Maybe there will be a group of leaders. I already saw there's already some nominations for certain panels, for Lagos State in particular. Certain panels that are going to oversee some of the rebuilding of stuff like the prosecution of some of these guys, and a number of things like that. So definitely we just need the energy to keep on going in this life.
And yeah, just for some more information, when we say that we're all asking for the same thing, there has been a list of 5 specific demands, the 5 for 5. We're asking for 5 for 5. That's the 5 out of the 5 demands should be met. And this is a list put out by a Nigerian youth that more or less has the consensus of every Nigerian. So we're all saying the same thing. I didn't write the list, but I've seen it and I agree with it. I'm asking for the same thing. So for your awareness, the 5 things are the 1, the immediate release of all arrested protesters. 2, justice for all deceased victims of police brutality and appropriate compensation for their families. 3, setting up independent bodies to oversee the investigation and prosecution of all reports of police misconduct within 10 days. 4, in line with the new Police Act, psychological evaluation and retraining to be confirmed by an independent body of all disbanded SARS officers before they can be redeployed. And 5, increase the police salary so that they are adequately compensated for protecting the lives and properties of citizens. So the police that's killing people, we're even fighting for them too. So those are the 5 demands, and we're asking that these 5 demands be met, because I think at the end of it just shocks me that it's even taking so long, and it's taking so much back and forth, because nothing on that list is crazy. I've seen people say, "Oh, within 10 days, that's crazy." Literally, this protest where we did now, this protest that is happening now, they arrested people on, is it not Sunday? By Monday, they had compiled the charges and charged them to court. Protesters, peaceful protesters. So these things, like it's possible for these things to happen. And anyone that's saying otherwise, there's so many cases where it happens, where it should not even happen. So where it's actually supposed to happen within 10 days, I mean, it can be done. It can, like, nothing on that list is crazy. That's the bare minimum.
Definitely.
But be honest about how, because, you know, like I said, we've been out everywhere, man. Everybody is tired. But let me get back to the point. Tell us a little bit about your experience at the protest and at the displays in Lagos.
So, I mean, as I previously mentioned, I went for the first one on the island. It was up the Lekki Great Bridge. It was calm, man. The turnout was really good. The organization was amazing. Everybody got the message. Everybody was passing the same message. You know, we got people from like different age groups, different genders, you know, everything.
What's the atmosphere out there like? What are people feeling?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone is outraged, but at the same time, like really focused towards, you know, the real goals at the end of the day. You know, everyone gets the message, and everyone is passing, you know, the right message. Everyone is getting a better idea of, you know, what everybody wants at the end of the day. And you know, we're definitely making an impact. More recently, I've been going to the ones at the Lekki VI toll gate. Those ones are a lot larger. Like the groups are so large, especially the one when we did like the candlelight service. It's really amazing. The organization was really amazing, and you know, we're seeing a lot of
organization. No mean say we get leader.
Yeah, exactly. The organization doesn't mean we have leader, but man, big up everybody who's involved.
Definitely.
Again, logistics, food, the security, especially the feminist coalition, man. Big up all the babes on that board, man. They're doing amazing things for the movement.
While we're on that, let me just say, just real quick, and we can get back to the point. We're not accepting any FK slander. Not acceptable. That woman don't try.
That's president right there. That's president right there, my guy.
Apparently they're calling her the Millennial Moses, and I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah. She is.
I don't have no issue with that at all. I mean, so, but yeah, let me like, you were talking about the candlelight service.
Yeah, so really, it was really just a moment to refocus, you know, to remind ourselves of really why we go out there every single day. You know, people who are falling before the movement even started, and like even during the movement, there's people who've lost their lives. There's people who are still in hospitals. There's people who, you know, put their lives on the line during this movement. So, you know, we all have to like remind ourselves that, you know, this isn't a game. Some people sometimes lose focus, and sometimes when I go out there, I'm like, I hope these guys really understand that this is war that we're going for. Like, these guys, there's literally no scenario, there's no simulation where, you know, the people, you know, the powers that be in Nigeria are going to say, okay, you know, these guys have had too much. Let's just leave and let them have a great life. Like, literally, every single thing has to lead to a revolution. And I really hope, you know, as we go on, people get a better idea of that, because man, there's going to be a fight to really get to where we want to get to. So, but still, man, I'm loving the turnout. It's good.
What do you mean by fight? How do you see that? You mean like you think there's going to be, you know, for lack of a better term, something like a civil war, or like an intellectual fight?
So I mean, we've already seen like a little bit of, should I say, backlash, or a little bit of frustrating our progress from the government, and also the government using its influence on a lot of big corporates and central banks. So, for example, you know, funding is really important when you're like trying to go against the powers that be in our case. And we're already seeing like the central bank, which is really, in our case, the puppet of the government, trying to like frustrate some bank accounts that are trying to like, get things in order, whether it's ambulances or food or whatever emergency services. And then you even see like banks as well getting involved, and so there's definitely going to be a little bit of that, but at the same time, depending on how long and how deep and how aggressive this might get, already seeing like the army of Nigeria also playing out as another puppet, saying that their allegiance is with the federal government, and which actually, you already know that doesn't make any sense. Your allegiance as the army is to the people. The police's allegiance is to the people, but in Nigeria we have it all mixed up. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of frustration. There's going to be a lot of things, and not every peaceful protest is going to go so smoothly. We're out there every single day in like almost all the states, in different parts of the states as well. So definitely, for as long as this takes, there's going to be a lot of the federal government dragging their asses, not really giving us what we want, because they know that once they start to give us what we want, then it's a case of, they've won one battle. So if they can win one battle, then it gives them a little bit more motivation for the war that we all, that we need to actually win, to actually get the country right on track. So definitely there's going to be a lot of pushback from our side.
Things like that always just kind of confuse me, because the government at the end of the day is part of the people. So why they, fight against it? It's just something I've never really but I mean, it's how it is. It's not just Nigeria. Like it's the government frustrates and fights against people in a lot of countries, and it's just something that has always boggled my mind. Like why? Like, because at the end of the day, you're going to be in office for so long. And I mean, I guess that gives you a certain kind of privilege for life or something. But like at the end of the day, you leave office, you go back to being a civilian. Like you can't. I mean, there's only some. You can't do everything for your children or your nephews and nieces. Or like you have to put structural things in place to make sure people are okay. Like there are no two ways about it. But I mean, I guess we'll leave that for another day, man. But I think right now, because there's even been a lot of what looks like lip service, right? Them saying they've accepted the agenda, the 5 for 5, they disbanded it, but like we still see. A couple of days ago, we saw videos of the disbanded police units going into people's houses in the middle of the night, 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and kidnapping people, throwing them into unmarked vans and police vehicles. I mean, we see the same disbanded police units shooting up protests, and it's just like, work with us, right? Just like, because we're not asking for anything crazy. And I think sometimes it even feels like, I know I felt a lot of times just as someone that is not there, right? Someone that is in the diaspora, someone that happens to be out of the country when this sparked up. It's like, and sometimes I feel like, I want to do a lot more. Like I've actually I think I've told you this a couple times. I've been thinking of, just if I can get everything good with like work and like just flying out and, being there, because it's like, we go to protest here and, we're trying to raise that awareness. So, it's on a global scale, raise that awareness on a global scale. But sometimes it's just like, like when I heard that of people being pulled out of their homes. I mean, to be fair, even if I was in Nigeria, there's only but so much I can do, right? I might not be able to do, but I just felt so helpless. I felt so like, I really need to be able to do something in this moment. How can I help these people? And things like that, it's very frustrating, man. But I mean, like 1000%, like they've been protests everywhere, man. They've been demonstrations from Europe to the Americas, everywhere. Like, and Nigerian youth around the globe, we are all together. We are all together, and there must be change.
Yeah.
And I think they've said this a couple times that the youth, we cannot back down, because if we back down, things will be worse than they have ever been. We cannot stop.
Definitely. And like, just touching on the point of, I mean, this is literally everyone's fight. I see a lot of stuff about like, there's like some people in the diaspora that's like, oh, just dirty December Nigerians, or, it's not really my fight, I'm not really there. I don't want to seem a little bit, out of place, or some people trying to drag their feet on the whole thing, doing research. But at the end of the day, like, it's literally everybody's fight. It's not even just Nigeria's fight. It's like literally like all of Africa's fight, because Nigeria is literally the benchmark for Africa and Africans all over the world. Like, and literally, if
black people all over the world, including black
Americans,
like. But just research, like, that's another thing that boggles my mind, because these are the same people that will retweet everything from the shade room, from even unconfirmed sources. But this one, when people are blind, that's where you want to go and do research. Wonderful.
Yeah, but
your research.
Yeah. But this research piece, first of all, I don't understand it. But like, even just leaving, let's say you were doing research, I feel like as a Nigerian, or anybody who's been been involved in Nigeria one way or the other, come to Nigeria either for 1st December or whatever, there's literally no way you're oblivious of police brutality that happens in Nigeria, the police harassment. There's no way you came to Nigeria and you did not see a bit of that. It's not possible. It's literally not possible. Like, everybody knows.
When you're stepping out of your house, and before you're worrying about armed robbers or kidnappers, you're worrying about police.
Exactly. Like, literally, if you do a survey for, like, all over Nigeria and everybody who's come to Nigeria, what are you more worried about? What have you had more cases of harassment about, police or armed robbers? You definitely have more people scared of armed robbers. More people have cases of harassment from police officers than armed robbers. Like, when I'm going out, the first thing on my mind is literally, I might get stopped, or these guys might decide to pull some mad one today, and that's literally what's on everybody's mind. And it's crazy how the people who sworn to protect you are the ones that you're most afraid of in the country. It's just mind-boggling the way that happens. We need to fix this, to be honest. We need this momentum to go on for as long as possible. It needs to go to the levels that we needed to get to, because there's no backing down from this.
And just to echo what you said, like, this is, I think, one of the most important battles that Black people have ever faced. Not just Nigerians, not just Africans. Black people. I would even go as far as saying I'm not a big fan of the word minorities, but like other races of people around the world. Because Nigeria is the biggest Black country in the world. I mean, that is just a fact. And Nigeria for so long has served as a benchmark for a lot of the things that go on in Africa. For a lot of the things that, and even I'm trying to find the words of Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, but you know what as well. Another thing about like this battle that we're in is bigger than SARS. A lot of people who are out there, and I can still hear them right now. It's 1 a.m. They're still going hard. But a lot of people who are out there, they're not all out there because of SARS. SARS is literally just one little, not to trivialize it, but there's a far bigger problem in this country, and it goes all the way to like bad governance. SARS is literally a result of like bad governance. It's a unit gone rogue. It's a unit that was brought out for something that was supposed to be good. Anti-robbery. There was a crazy robbery trend going on around like the 90s, early 90s, and the SARS unit was literally like established for that. But like literally now you have them doing cybercrime. How do you fight cybercrime? By like looking at someone's chain or looking at someone's hair or looking at someone's tattoos and just labeling them.
And just to add some context to that, the reason that the armed robbery was so crazy back then is because apparently some police officers, they stopped and killed a soldier in the army, a colonel, I believe. And as retaliation, soldiers were roaming the streets looking for anyone in their police uniform to kill officers. So the officers were all in hiding. And because of that, robbery went up, and so that's why the SARS was created. So, I mean, it was, you look at, it was created with good intentions, and you look at the Constitution of Nigeria, probably one of the best in the world. Like, on paper, like, things are good, but like, in reality, in practice, things just don't work out that way. And I think that is what we're trying to say. That is what that is the frustration.
Yeah, but even the Constitution, I do not think the Constitution is good. A lot of laws that we still have like in place are so outdated. Like they're literally so outdated. Like for example, in the NYSC, you still have the bylaws which say if you miss like a session, you either pay 20 naira or you go to jail for 20 years. That's how bad the laws are. Because at that time, 20 naira was something, and like the jail sentence was somehow, in some way commensurate. But like a lot of laws, and then even the rule of law is not enforced by anybody. Nobody follows the rule of law. It's literally just something that was made to like punish anybody who can't afford to bribe their way or beat their way out of like the laws that are not even being enforced. So I think law enforcement, building on what is already the Constitution, that's definitely something that Nigeria needs to look at extensively. We need to look at that extensively, and we have the best paid lawmakers in all of the world. What are they doing? Like literally, what exactly do they go there to do? A lot of them go there to crash. The things that they do, like you can't really put your hand on like what these guys are doing to earn that money. And a lot of them really just go there to cash out. That's really what the government has become in this country, and it's just so wild how.
Yeah, and they say that about elections. Like they spend so much money on elections because they see it as an investment. Like, oh, when I get there, I'm going to make this money back. So like, no one that is paying for you, but no one that is paying that. Like the mentality of people that are paying that much, they are paying for something. So if you're spending all this money now, you're expecting to recoup it somewhere. You're not paying. You wouldn't pay that much to go and work in a bank or work for a job. So it's like, okay, yes, I'm paying all this now because in my mind I want to get something back. But I'm gonna let you get off any final thoughts, and I'll share some additional resources, and we can wrap it up. And let's definitely continue this conversation, but let's not make this too long for the people.
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I'm trying to go out as much as possible, because for me, I really see this for so many Nigerians is literally like the proudest we've ever been to be Nigerian. It gives us this beacon of hope that we've really never had, like from the moment we were born till today. Like it gives us this beacon of hope that Nigeria can actually work. You see the way the protests are actually working all across the nation and even internationally. Everybody's watching, and it's working out so beautifully. But it's also really important. It's also really important to remember. We need to keep the pressure, man. Foot on necks, man. To be honest, we need to keep the pressure, because this is actually a war that we're going into, and I'm dead serious when I say that. Like these guys, there's no scenario, there's no simulation where these guys would just let up the influence, the power, the corrupt seats that they built all over these years. We need to actually force that to happen to make this country a great one, man. So definitely big up everybody who's going out there and trying to go out as much as possible. It's really important for everybody all over the world, especially people in the diaspora. They don't even understand how powerful their voices are. Like, the government literally cares more about international media, international optics than they do about locals. So it's really, really important to get it out there as much as possible. And donations, I cannot stress it enough. Every time, I'm always trying to donate as much as I can, encourage people to donate as much. The Feminist Coalition has like a really nice financial system going on, donations, and also like dispersing funds to whoever needs them. So, as much as possible, everybody, try and like reach out, however way you can help, on streets, through your pockets, whatever way, let's just get this working. Because really the end goal in sight is a beautiful one. So Nigeria that works, it's a Black nation that represents something that can actually work and shine. It's the future of Africa that we're fighting for right here. So definitely everybody, just get educated, get involved, and let's push this.
Yeah. And so I'm going to include a link in the description with some more information on how you can help. Actually, a report from CNN. And there's everything from, volunteering your time and skills to, like you mentioned, donations, using your voice and your platform, no matter how big or small that is, to speak out and raise awareness. And, we definitely share that, even just anything, man, any way you can help, we definitely share that. Before we get out of here, the quote from Nelson Mandela was, "The world will never respect Africa until Nigeria earns that respect. The Black people of the world are looking up to Nigeria to be a source of pride and confidence. Every Nigerian citizen should be made to understand this truth." And I think that is a very big truth. And, we've heard things like that echoed, that for Black people anywhere in the world to really be respected, Africa has to be respected. Our hub, that is our hub, whether you're disconnected to it or you're connected to it. So we're going to end it there. Thank you very much, Dave, for being on this. Hopefully, I would love to see everything resolved in a couple of days. But if, by the next episode is still going on, we'd love to have you back and just kind of update everyone on what's going on with the movie.
Definitely, man. Appreciate it.
All right,
this is literally a phone call we were having that you decided, everybody needed to hear. So big up, man. Big up.
Yeah, big up you for coming on and sharing that. All right, bro. Let's get out of here. Love.
Peace.